recording. There we go. Okay, welcome everybody. So we're getting there. So tonight we're going to go over a step-by-step thing for people that will be at the CMC, and those of you that aren't, it's still something that's important, and we definitely want your point of view, written testimony, etc. So, welcome. We're going to, come on, slide change. Again, there were 3 choices in life. We can watch things happen, make them happen, or wonder what the hell happened, and we're choosing the second one. We're making it happen. So let's talk about who's here. Taurus, I don't know who that is. Anne-Marie, say hi.
Hi, everybody.
There she is. There she is. Barbie, I know you're here too.
Hello, everybody.
Perfect. How about Carol Jo? Are you here? No. Connie, say hi.
Hi.
Diana Corbin, are you here yet? No. Gayleen? Janet?
I'm here.
There she is. There she is. Janet, welcome. Jennifer? The other Jennifer, Jennifer Z. Not yet. Jenny? Like I said, Jill's husband, they're at the ER, so she won't be here. Karen Siebert, I saw you, right, Karen?
Hi, everyone.
How's the new job going?
It's going great.
Good.
Recovering from midwinter.
Oh, yeah, right. You guys were down at Midwinter. I also talked to Katie
there
from your team the other day about coding and some interesting. Yeah. Kathy, are you here yet? No.
I don't see her.
Kelly? Tiger. Kim Jockheim. Lady Macbeth? Lisa? Linda Jaratowski? Nope. Linda Jorgensen, I know you're here.
Hi, I'm here.
There she is. You got wine?
Nope, not yet. I'm just trying to stay sober.
I like that. Not yet. Lindsay, say hi, Lindsay.
Hi, everybody.
There she is. Liz Grillo? Oh, sorry. Lucy.
Yep, I'm here. Hello.
Hello, Lucy. Michelle, are you here?
Yep, hi all.
Terrific. How about one of my Jersey girls, Eileen?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
There we can. There we go.
Oh, okay. Good. Thanks. Hi.
I got to spend some time with. We got to spend some time with Sandra Berger down in Texas. So, always thinking of love of my Jersey girls. Nancy Brohan. No. Natalie was down in Texas too. We got to have. Well, we almost had a drink with Natalie, but she had to fly out of Texas, Texas up to Chicago. So, Nikki.
Hi everyone.
Oh, there you are. There you are. So the flight went well and everything went fine for Chicago, Nat?
It did. It was fabulous.
Oh, that's good. I mean, we stayed up and worried about you. No, we didn't. We went to sleep.
Oh.
Paige, are you here? No, not yet. Pat, question mark. Apparently that person doesn't know their last name. I don't know.
I'm here. Paige, I just couldn't unmute. So
there you go. There we go. Patty B's here. Patty Korecki, are you here? Dr. Downs? No. I think I just saw Sandy Rago come in. Sandy, say hi.
Hi, everybody.
There we go. Sharon Liebich. I think she said she might be late. Siobhan, are you here yet? Not yet, Shirley?
Yes, I'm here.
I'm here. There you are. Okay. Shirley Gakowski. Nope. Melissa? Melissa?
Hi. Sorry, my microphone went in.
There we are.
Hello,
That's okay. That's part of what this test is all about. All right. Kathy, Patty, can you go ahead and call Kathy?
No, I'm here.
Oh, you're here now? Okay, good.
I'm here now.
Susan, I know you're here.
I'm here. Hi everybody.
There she is. Tasha?
I'm here.
There she is. Teresa Shepard?
I'm here. It still says Nicole, but I'm here.
Vicki, are you here? How about Angela? Angela Craig, she said she might be a little bit late, as you can see. Sandra Berger? Not yet. Lisa, are you here yet, Lisa? Okay, the last 2 people I put on here because I want us to all think about prayer, whatever you think is appropriate. Susie Brzezinski's dad, he's in his 90s, but she's had a really, really rough time, and she didn't know how much she's going to be able to participate with us at all, but he's having a lot of issues. So lots of thoughts and prayers to Susie. Also, Carol Roselle just became a grandma for the second time of twins. And baby and everybody is doing well as far as I know. But some of our members, life is a busy for all of us, and thoughts and kind wishes to everybody. So again, to emphasize, again, I keep talking about this because I'm so thrilled. Man, we made it as a #1 goal, and we are doing it, guys. So May 15th, we will be at the Council on Dental Benefits to get that voting seat on the CMC. And as we talked to Natalie about, it's like they said, at one point, one of the responses for the committee was that, if we let you guys on, they'll want everybody else on, and they're right. We will. We will want the assistants. We will want the office managers, but this is the first one for dental hygienists. Siobhan asked, and I mentioned it at the last meeting, is this connection between ADHA policy and our submission of codes. When we got to start thinking ahead and get farther ahead than we've been in the past, the ADHA PR needs to go in this month. It'll be voted on in June for ADHA policy, but then we'll have it to use to support our submissions that need to be in November, so they can be heard in March, so that they actually go in the dang book by the 2022. I know that's farther ahead than a lot of us are used to thinking, but it's really important that we do. PHPR, a policy in our professional association, can help support our agenda in this committee too. So think about that. If you're going to be at ADHA, if you were a delegate at ADHA, if you need the help of this group, please ask us. But it'd be great if you asked us like Michelle did this year. Michelle Race. By the way, Michelle, are you here, Michelle?
Yep, I'm here.
Okay.
Here.
So how did it go with your delegation and your so far?
Well, it's like pulling teeth, but we finally got it passed through our state. Now we're going to bring it out to just the rest of District 2. And after that, if anybody else wants to bring it to their, delegation, please let me know. And I was wrong. I think I said the 15th of March. I believe it's it's really the 27th of March that the PRs have to be in by.
Okay. So if I can ask, what was the pushback with your state?
Well, it was bad advice for one from our trustee, but I don't want to push her under the bus. And just people that had questions. Well, what was the difference between policies and like this, the standard of care policy, policy thing that the executive board of the ADHA puts forth. And, it was just these little questions because we have a lot of newbies on our group, and so it took a little longer for people to understand where we were going.
Okay, great.
But all's good. We're moving it through now. All's good.
Are you planning to send this to other states within your district, or what kind of?
Yeah. It'll go out to the other states in our district, and then after that, I can let you guys know if any other state wants to, or district wants to, sign in on with us too.
Okay.
But I just have to go through these steps first.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Siobhan, or anybody have any questions on this, or what we're going to do, or how we can help you? Okay.
Michelle, did your state submit something? Were you there last year?
Yes, our state, we did do something, but it wasn't really this PR, because we started to talk about it, and that's why I wanted to do it all ahead this year and really everybody be on the same page. And I was unorganized last year, so this time I feel like we're going in with a much stronger PR, and it's worded differently. And
right, it's pretty much following a lot of the work that we did here, because this is where, again, our committee did the work, and then she was able to take it to ADHA. So this is where all of this is coordinated back and forth. Michelle was contacting me. Remember, Susan and I responding to her on Friday when she was on the floor of ADHA. So this is much better to do this in advance like this, because you can build that coalition support with other states and other groups. So thank you again, Michelle. So
Thank you.
again, it's time now to consider now what submissions we want to put in for this November, because we need to start this is what I think has been what we're trying to do in this last year from our learning, is thinking ahead. Even though we are going to be talking tonight about what we're going to be testifying and how we're going to be testifying at the CMC, the work goes on, because no matter what happens out of that meeting, there are still a lot of things that we would like to see in the codes that aren't there. So we got to start thinking about those now. And start meeting now. Start thinking if you're choosing to have a leadership position in this group for our work groups in the future, because that's the way this process needs to work if we're going to be successful. Because in as much as I think we did some fantastic work this year, we still didn't build coalitions. We just didn't. And we still, we have with the enhanced oral cancer, the only group that we've had sign on with us to date is with Oral Cancer Foundation signing on for that, but the rest we have not. So that's something that we can work on to get even better at. We're going to get better every year. But think about it. Do you want to lead a group for next year? As I said before, we are currently working on our educational travel grant through IOH, the Institute of Oral Health with ADHA, that we hope to grant by later this year. We hope to have the application to you and ready for our next meeting, although I think that one might be a little hopeful. We'll see. So let's talk about the specifics of the CMC. There's ADA headquarters, 211 East Chicago Avenue. It's on the second floor. Thursday, the 12th of March. It is scheduled for Thursday and Friday. Again, as I've said many times, I doubt that it's going to go to Friday. They kept it as a one-day meeting for at least 10 years. The hotels. First of all, if you want a roomie, we have people that are looking for roommates. I know Jamie contacted me that way. I think Siobhan and Lindsay are going to share now. But the two hotels, one is I'm booked, Patty and I are booked at the Hilton on Mag Mile, and right across the street is a Residence Inn by Marriott. You can see the rates there or whatever. That's what it was for whatever dates. I mean, I don't know what it is for our dates, but that's the base price. Hello. If you're going to attend, I need you to text me, and I need to know if you want a roomie or not. We will be having a dinner together for anybody that gets there for Wednesday, the 11th. And we're going to have it either at Rosebud or Francesca's, which is in walking distance of the either of those hotels that I recommended. I don't have any reason to recommend them other than they're ones that we've stayed at before, and it all works out pretty conveniently. But not only should you text me if you're coming, text me if you're going to be there for dinner, because we'll make a reservation. I wish I could say that that this group could pay for it, but you're going to have to pay for your own dinner. That's just reality. Also, again, you guys are amazing. There's our leaders. We're doing it. We have those 12 submissions, and now we're going to talk about how we're going to actually approach this meeting. Kathy sent me probably 4 slides I made into 20, just so you know, Kathy.
But put the DeGangi flair into them.
Put the DeGangi flair on it now, which I think you're getting used to that now. But again, a shout out to Kathy for her constant work for this group and thinking for this group. And she's heartbroken that she can't be there this year, but she wants to help everybody else through her knowledge. So Kathy, I'm going to just hand it over to you. And go ahead, you can start talking about what they're seeing here.
This is when you walk in the door, there's a table there where you sign in, and you'll notice straight ahead are the observer section.
There I am.
And you can see Patty in purple. If you go a little bit farther down, you'll see Linda and I sitting on the other side of the aisle. There's an aisle down the middle. And this last year, you can see there was a microphone right there. So I sat right next to the microphone, and anybody who came up and spoke had to go there. So that's kind of the layout. Now, if you came in, you can see there's a table to the far left and tables around the outer perimeter, which are all the support staff for all the members of the CMC, which are sitting in the inner circle. So that's kind of how the room is set up. It's very conducive to work groups and whatnot, but yeah, that's kind of the lay of the land. Support staff on the outside, the actual community, straight ahead
This
of
up
the
here.
screen, they end up, they display the actual submission on the screen so everybody can read it. And if any additions or amendments are offered, Frank from the staff actually types it in so you can read it and see what particular submission you are discussing. So that's kind of the room. So these are some of my suggestions, and Patty and I've talked about them, but I've been, I think, the last 3 years, 2 or 3 years anyway. We don't want to sit in groups. You spread out as much as you can across the room. The people that are going to be speaking or presenting testimony that they know of, please sit closer to the microphone. But you can sit in pairs. You don't have to sit in pairs, but spread yourselves out so we take up more of the room.
We take up more of the room, and plus that picture is of chess because it's about strategic and not,
Right.
I mean, we want them to start seeing us as individual, powerful women, people of substance. And there's a lot that happens. Now, Patty Beeson and I were involved, along with other people, with some really important negotiations with the union when we got the union here with an affiliation with Illinois Hygienists. And I learned a lot with that. And where you sit, how you sit, and there's power in that. And so that's where, as much as, yeah, we like to sit by our friends and all that, you know what? This is time for strategy.
Right. For those who are going to be providing, as I said, sit closer to where the microphone is so that you keep the flow going. You don't want them to have to sit and wait for you to get up there, so be prepared. When they present when they say, okay, let's, talk about item number 1, and they'll post it. So that's going to be the oral cancer one. So Susan would be close to the microphone before it's even up there so that you're prepared. Introduce yourself and who you represent. And they'll basically ask, is there anyone here who wants to speak to this? So you get up and just say your name and who you represent, the Dental Codology Consortium, and we would speak in favor of this. Does anyone have any questions? I would really encourage you to add to the end of that or clarification. So ask them for, what you need to do. I wasn't always the best at this. I would just talk and then wait for them to ask me. And I tell you, it'll be dead silence. So if you can.
Maybe not, we don't know how it's going to go. It's different every year.
Right. So just be prepared to say, does anybody have any questions about the submission?
I do need to say here, is there what might be times also that you choose to get to the microphone on another issue, or even on our issue? But when you say you're representing the DCC, you've got to make sure that you are representing what all of us believe. That's part of that was part of the process of us reviewing all of the submissions. It's okay if you think differently than the rest of the group, but you don't get to say and speak for the group unless you really have brought it to the group in advance. Does that make sense? Linda, you know what? You did that last year. Can you talk to that a little bit? Linda has done more legislative process than probably anybody here. So Linda, if you could speak to that, I appreciate it.
I was just going to ask a question before I talk about that. But yeah, so are we going to know, any of us who are going to go, are we going to know what the vote was on each of these issues? Will we have that written down somewhere, and that we can, so that if we do wind up speaking at the microphone or making comments, we don't contradict anything that the group said?
Well, I have good news and bad news on that. I have good news in that I found some of our votes. I have the bad news, I couldn't find it on some of the other ones. So okay. I don't actually have the numbers. I wish I did.
Okay.
Got to figure out how to do that better in future.
Well, even if it was just a very, like a score sheet. This is a submission. The Dental Codology Consortium voted to support this. Here are my comments I'd like to add to that. I don't know. It was, I want to come back to the committee meeting. I probably will just drive down. So, yeah, you know, you say, I'm Linda Jorgensen. I'm a member of the Codology Consortium. Is that the way you want us to say it, Patty? Something
That's
like
what
that?
Codology Consortium is our actual name. I suppose we should use our name, full name.
And then, you know, but I would get it out right away if you're in favor or not in favor of it, or if you when you say you're speaking on behalf of it, you might even say I'm a member of the Codology Consortium, but at this moment I'm not speaking for them.
I don't think I would say that.
Huh?
I don't.
No, you wouldn't say you're
Kathy.
talking for. You would say I'm speaking. I'm here speaking for myself.
Exactly.
Right.
Speaking for
So
myself.
you don't even have to say you're from the consortium. You could just say I'm speaking for myself as a dental hygienist.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. Oh, yeah. I mentioned that you're a dental hygienist too. So, or a dental assistant or whatever stripe you might be. But yeah, I found them to be very, if you come, the lobbyist that I work with the most in Wisconsin keeps reminding me, I don't know why he has to keep saying it over and over and over again, but he does. Now be sure to come across as humble. And I'm going, oh God. Like,
no.
Humble's not my natural state, but you know, okay, because if you're too aggressive or pushy or whatever, bossy, I don't know, what's the opposite of arrogant, I guess. You know, you want to respect them as decision makers and then demonstrate that respect. I think that's important.
And we are there as their guests.
Right.
We got to remember that we're, you know, it's like going to somebody's house and, you know, and being aggressive or insulting or whatever. It's like we are there as their invited guests. They have this as an open meeting. They could close it.
Right.
They could close it.
But sometimes I would imagine people come at them as if, you know, they're trying to be persuasive. They're saying something new. They are fairly sure that there's going to be resistance or opposition to their idea. That's the attitude they come with, and you do have to kind of squash that. Like I would come at them again, respectful, humble. You're asking for your thoughts to be considered. Here's why. You know, things like that. I don't know. Is that helpful, Patty?
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
One of the things that I would caution you, do not read your remarks. They really, you can watch their body language. They literally turn it off if you read. So unless you're offering an amendment or some kind of reference, speak confidently. One of the things I didn't put in a slide is, you know, the microphone's going to be at different levels, and if it's too high or too low, move it.
Yeah, you have that.
I've seen, you know, dentists go up to the mic and they have to hunch over, which is a humbling kind. No. Stand confident if you have to take it out of the stand, but talk to them. Keep it short, speak confidently, but, you know, really, I've just watched when people just read it, there are people on there that will literally turn you off. So just speak in your normal voice, and, you know, if you have to look down occasionally, but really try and just talk to them. That's what they're looking for.
And again, I added the specific scientific restaurant or statistic because we do have those in our submissions. But there needs to be a thought process that we don't know that they actually read our submissions. Okay. And I'm not saying you can almost assume that they didn't, but when you have remarks, you might want to use some of the really most important things we have in there in our support information, particularly if it comes from their own documents. Okay. Because like in our oral cancer one, we have ones that the ADA voted this and da 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 da. I'm not saying you have to puke everything back to them, nor do you have to say everything that's there. This is where you read your audience, read the audience. So that's the important thing. We've seen people, even in our group since we've been going, some people do that well, other people aren't so good at it. Okay, but try and That's why it's important to keep your head up so you can read how is this coming across? Okay.
Patty, I have a question.
Sure. Who is it?
I think it's Siobhan. It's
Hi,
for
Siobhan.
either
Thanks, sweetheart.
Patty or Patty. This presentation's so helpful. Thank you. I have a question. Who are you addressing when you go to the mic?
Right here is the next slide. We're
Okay.
addressing the chair directly. He will be, kind of just under the screen. He's the one that will introduce the submission. And so look at him when you make the first comments, hi, and introducing yourself. And then if sometimes some of the committee members will ask a question. So again, look at them, give them great eye contact, whoever is asking the question, but you're presenting this to the chair up front.
By the same token, it doesn't hurt if you can get there and walk around and see where and you'll learn it after a while, who's who there. But like say you're talking about because again, you're going to be talking about implants. It's like, and of course, if you have something where you can include the AAP in it, and of course the AAP's position, and you turn over to Marie and include Marie, believe me, you'll get to know Marie. Anybody that goes to the code meetings knows Marie. Anyway, who is from AAP. But that's why it's just that involvement, Siobhan, I know but some of the best speaking practice comes into this. But yeah, it's the chair. The first year when we had a large group of people that came, the chair is the one that we got the pictures with, that recognized us, that welcomed us, because again, that's the person in charge. Yeah. There are two support staff, Krishna and Frank Picorni. Frank Picorni, you got to know, he's the one that's always asking for the votes and putting the stuff in. He's the one that types into the computer and all that. Dr. Dave Preble is the one of the liaisons from the executive director of ADA. There's 5 ADA members actually on there, and they kind of all sit there. And they each group sits in their given area with their whole team, voting team. And then again, as Kathy said earlier, the outer circle is the team that's there to support them.
And the AAP sits closest to the gallery, so she's right there.
Yeah, she's right there. She usually sits next to NADP, National Association of Dental Plans, which is interesting in and of itself. So.
Patty, something that just came to mind. I think it was 2 years ago when we were talking about the 4355 code. Mm-hmm. I had taken the actual submission and I had it on a thumb drive, and I took that with me, and it came out.
I added that.
Oh, you do?
We're going to need somebody that's going to print out and have all of those submissions.
Yeah, but the idea was I had them on a thumb drive because we amended it, and to expect Frank to write it in based on verbal, I handed him the thumb drive and I said, we made the amendments on the thumb drive. You can just, right, put it into he was so excited that he didn't have to do it. So if we can make their job easier, if we are going to offer amendments,
right.
That worked really well.
For sure. Again, Kathy already mentioned this, but there's the microphone height. Yeah. And if you need help, we're all there to help. Okay. Yep. There's some of us that are going to have been there a bunch of times, and we're there to help you too.
And I have to tell you, you've got to suck up on that microphone. You cannot stand far away. They are not directional mics. They are not room mics. They're individual, and you have to get your lips really close to be able to understand and come across clearly.
Okay. All right. Moving forward. Now, what I did, Kathy, is I divided these up, and I should put this on here. So we are not going to limit it to who can present or how many people can present. The first question, though, is who from the cancer group. Now we have 4 inventories on this because it's about changing our other ones. I only put in our additional one. Who wants to present on this? Susan.
I would like to.
Yay! Susan. Okay, Susan.
Me. I would love to.
Great. Is there anybody else from our work group that will be attending that can possibly speak to it also?
This is Michelle. I'm reconsidering that maybe I can go that weekend. I don't know what good I'll be able to say, but I'd like to go and at least support.
You know, there's nothing with filling the room with a lot of hygienists. Even if you don't speak, it makes a strong statement.
The other part too is they're going to be, I'm sure they're going to be observing us because they have this, we already are on their agenda to give us a voting seat. Okay. So how we present ourselves at this meeting, I think will be really important. And I think the more the merrier. So
Kathy.
Yes.
Kathy, this is Siobhan. Can't you just, if you are in support of something, for anybody who, you know, wants to go but might feel nervous about going to the mic, can't you just go up there and introduce yourself? Well, introduce yourself, and you don't even have to give a justification. You can just say, you know, I concur with the prior speaker, or I am in favor of this. And
absolutely.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. I think we'll have to watch doing that because that can be overdone also. In the beginning, since this is going to be this is the first 4 items, this might be a really good one that we could do that on. But I think this is also reading the room as the morning progresses, because we don't need to have all 10 of us go, we agree. You know, I mean, and there is nothing wrong with if you hear something that somebody else says that you think you want to play off of or enhance a little bit, that's okay too. But yeah, you can just go up there and say, yeah, Siobhan Healy, I concur with the previous speaker.
I mean, I think it's important for whoever, I mean, the more the merrier, because if we're going to be spread out throughout the room, I mean, it shows more support. And I think that could be very persuasive. So I would say that, you know, we should do that. I think it would have the opposite effect.
Well, I agree with Patty. We got to read the room and look at the faces of the people. So, you know, I agree with you that the more the merrier, but kind of got to watch body language really a lot.
You know, while they do Robert's rules, okay, we saw voter fraud and collusion last year, but okay, fine.
No, it's 2 years ago, Patty.
I'm sorry, they blur. It's not like being at ADHA where you might have multiple people go up and say that. They don't do it that way because the only people who are in the back are the ones who want a code, pretty much.
Or write books on it.
Everybody's there for their individual codes, and so it's not like there's a house full of delegates who want to say, my state agrees, my state agrees, my state agrees. It's a different vibe than that.
Yep. Yeah, it is.
This is Lucy,
just my opinion, but
this is Lucy Connard. I'm planning on coming Thursday.
Terrific. And you were part of our cancer group, so your input would be great, because I mean, we really had some great discussions on our group, and I think bringing that forward is something, again, if we believe it enhances, helps support and makes it even a stronger argument, then we want to show it. I think probably I'm kind of thinking this through as we're talking here. Somewhere in this, I'm going to try and find somewhere in this, I need to try and find an opportunity to let the entire committee know of our behave as this thing, in that we have discussed all 84 of these submissions as a group. Okay, it's not just the stuff ours. We are interested in this, and indefinitely when we go and on the 15th of May, we will talk about that, because we've been putting ourselves through some tough things here and talking about all of it. So anyway, so there'll be, again, this is part of the play it by ear. Do I know when I'm going to say that? Nope, I don't.
Patty?
Yeah?
Patty, this is Linda. So one of the things that was said at the very end by the chair at the very end of the meeting last year was, he said something like, we understand that nobody's going to actually sit down and comb through every page of the code manual and talk about it and think about it. Nobody does that. And I'm going, wait a minute.
We did.
We do.
We do.
Like, hello. So I think, at some point, let's a small explanation of our process and what we did. I think that's very appropriate, because I just found that really surprising. Like, you think nobody's looking at this? Like, it's not that big a deal? It's a big deal, and we're looking at it and thinking about it. Anyway, I thought it was
Strongly about it. Yeah.
I made a face. I don't know if he saw me, but it's like, hey, back here, we do.
Yeah. Terrific.
And Kathy, then I have a question.
Sure.
Sure.
So how long? I know we don't want to have it long, but when we get up to say something, are you thinking 2 to 3 minutes or just a minute or?
Think of it as here.
That's a great question.
Susan. Twitter style. What do I mean by that? Twitter style is taking all the extra words out and giving them the meat. It's concise language that gives the most information. It's not a lecture. We don't have to lecture them. We're not doing a presentation there. So 2 to 3 minutes, that's enough. We don't want to go on and on because we've had, and believe me, we've watched at these meetings where the people just go on and on and on and on and on. And guess what? Nobody listens after a while, and it turns the voting members off.
Right.
Yeah, I've typically, when I go up, not more than 2 minutes at the most. I mean, and that's if they ask me a question. When they're first presenting it, I would just say, like, inventory item number 1, they will have it posted on the screen. Say we're in favor of this, maybe make a comment about the ADA position and say, does anybody have any questions? Keep it really short and direct.
Okay, somebody's got a microphone that's on that's really being disruptive. If we can mute our mics until. Okay, also, we may want to suggest, if they don't, that if they hear these together, because these 4 submissions are related. Okay?
Right.
Frequently, the chair will do that. It's like these items we're going to hear together. But if they don't, then I think we do. We can go to the microphone and say, we would like to have these considered together, and here's our reason why. Okay?
Good point, Patty. Yeah.
So I have a question. What
Okay,
about,
please mute your mic if you're not talking. Okay, thank you. Go ahead.
It's a phone caller.
Who's on a phone? Somebody's got their mic open. All right, I'm going to try and figure out how to mute them all. They changed it, though, so I can't figure it out as readily.
You have to go to people.
What?
Go to people, and you can mute everyone. Then you're going to have to.
Okay, mute everybody. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to, except if I mute everybody, then nobody can hear anybody, including me. Can you hear me?
We can unmute though, Patty.
Oh, can you unmute yourself? Okay, all right. All right, there we go. All right, who was speaking before that? I'm sorry, I got.
hey, Patty?
Yeah.
I have a question. So regarding testimony, what about something from oral cancer survivors who want to write something to be read?
Okay, that's something I think that's not the first thing we start with.
No.
Okay.
We bring that forward with extra testimony. By the way, just to bring even a sharper focus on this, I would, if with the permission of the chair, I would like to read. Do you hear all the stuff I did around that?
Yes.
Okay. But with the permission of the chair.
Last year we had some things read in, and it wasn't taken as well as we didn't ask permission to read it. We would just get up and read it. So I like Patty's idea of asking with permission from the chair, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great.
But it's not our first tack. It's our after we've already said whatever. And again, watching and reading the thing of the room. And the thing is that we don't have to say everything we know. And if we see that it feels like it's going positively anyway, then just stop.
Yep.
Just stop. Okay.
Okay.
Questions. You guys are amazing. So thank you. Okay. So that was the cancer group. The next one is that I want to ask is, I need somebody that will take and volunteer to print out the 360 pages so that we have them there in the room with us. Now, I usually am there with my, and by the way, you can bring your computers too. You can bring your computers. There are, you bring some extra things to plug in because they have a few outlets in the back there. But I usually follow it that way to make notes, but also having a copy of the CDT code book. Now I can bring my copy, but if somebody else has a copy that wants to say they're going to bring it, we need to have those documents, those resources there in case. Who would like to?
Hey, Susan, I printed out all 300 pages. So since we're here in Denver, I can certainly get that to you before you go so you don't have to print it out. It's all the resources and all that stuff.
Okay, that'd be great.
Okay.
That's why we have to have somebody do this. I knew Kathy would have done it.
Yes.
How can we get our own
Copy
book?
of CDT? Buy it.
Buy it.
Buy it.
Can you buy it without being an ADA member?
You're going to pay a higher price if you can have an ADA member that can buy it for you through their discounted pricing. Get CDT.
Okay.
You get the CDT book, get the CDT companion, and there's an app, and you can buy them together in a group for, a relative thing. Because I have the app on the phone as well as the CDT book and the companion.
Okay.
When you'll be taking the classes that Kathy and are constructing, you're going to need them anyway. You're going to need all of those resources. Okay, so provider groups, screening. Who will speak to this inventory item? This was in the provider group. Who was the chair for that group? Or the leader? That was Patty Korecki, wasn't that you, Katty?
Yes, that was me.
Patty, will you be at that meeting? Will you be able to attend the CMC with us?
I'm not sure.
Okay. And I know that's not your comfortable place to be the talking person anyway, so I'm not going to ask that of you, but your body there would be great. Okay. Patty B, are you comfortable? Patty B? Hello.
Yeah, I'm here. Of course, I can always talk. I'm not sure what comes out of my mouth, but I can always talk.
Anybody else? I mean, you don't have to be part of that group to speak to this. I mean, is there anybody else that's coming from another state where you're being affected by this more?
That would be ideal if somebody could be there in a state where this is becoming an issue.
Why can't there are 2 letters in there from 2 providers who have had issues with it. Could one of them be there and actually address it? Because those letters are powerful that are included.
Right. Who knows the person? Natalie, do you know the person from Minnesota that wrote the letter?
Is it Christy Jo Fogarty?
Yes.
Yeah, I work with her. She's one of my coworkers.
You know what?
I thought she said she wanted to come.
Yeah, I thought she did too.
I am at the office tomorrow afternoon. I'm not sure if she's going to be at the office, but I can certainly reach out to her and find out if she's planning on being there.
Okay.
I know this week she's at a different conference down in Orlando, so.
Well, and Tommy Kell from Compassionate Dental Wellness wrote the other letter. So she is in Oregon. But
this is Connie Simmons. So it's a she. I actually got that letter from Tommy, and I had invited her to come, and she has something else going on at that time and can't come. But I know that she did tell me, she sent me a Facebook message a few weeks ago that she did get, after a lot of times trying, she actually got payment from an insurance company that she had tried over a year to get payment on, and she's finally accepted as a provider.
Excellent.
So she's making headway.
Connie, are you going to be at the meeting? Are you be able to come in for the CMC?
I can't. We're moving.
Oh, okay. Oh, good. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Well, fine. That's a decent excuse, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll miss you.
But again, this could be one of those that we, again, with the permission of the chair, the person that wrote this can't be here, and this is what I think is important. And again, not read the whole thing, but figure out the important excerpts from it. Can somebody look at that, or Patty Korecki? Can I go back?
Yeah, I can do that.
Right, but Patty Korecki, can I have you work maybe with Patty B? You guys figure
Yeah.
that out together, so we have, what we don't want to do is get there and go, blah, 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 blah. That's the whole
'Cause
purpose of this, is to be prepared.
Because this is going to be a hot item.
Yeah,
And
Patty?
so,
Yeah.
and
Oh.
my suggestion is, present it as we've already talked about. And then if they start going down a rabbit trail where it looks like it, they are putting their foot down, then ask with permission of the chair. Don't read the letter at the first
Nope.
outset. Wait to see where it's going, to see if you need that.
Right.
Okay.
Linda?
I'd like, as long as I'm going to be there, this is a hot topic. I would love to speak on that. If you need somebody to present it and give any background, I think I would be happy to do that too.
I think 2 people on this one would be a good idea, actually.
I agree.
Okay.
Okay, terrific.
Well, if I can go, I will. I don't mind speaking. I
And
really
who's
don't.
that?
Patty, correct.
Patty.
Okay, great, Patty, great. And thanks again for leading that committee. Okay, next one. Counseling group, Jamie. Are you still here, Jamie? Jamie was on a phone call that was going to come in and out. Okay, who's from this group? I know Linda was the mentor for this group. Is there anybody that's going to be there from the counseling group that would like to speak on this hot topic?
I have to put in, this was a very, we need to speak to this because they asked us, the chair of the CMC asked us to come back with this. So this is at their directive. They're looking to us to present this. So this is huge.
And we may also, in advance when we arrive, to get a hold and connect with Sharon. And Linda, I know you connected with Sharon via email and then nothing ever came from it. Do you want to also see if you can connect with her at this meeting beforehand to talk to her a little bit about this? Because that's one of those that, we direct whatever our comments to the chair, but of course, and we know how important it is to public health. Sharon talked so strongly of this last year when we were here.
Right. Yeah, I'd be happy to do that.
Because that also shows our consistency of attendance and follow through on things.
My thought is to when you get up to the mic on this, to start out saying thank you to the chair for asking us to come back with something. That will trigger that they're the ones that asked us to do that. So a thank you in the beginning, I think, is huge.
Right. I wouldn't say that nothing came of it. I had a couple of very brief kind of exchanges of emails with Sharon Perlman who sits on this committee. But I don't think she understood exactly what we were doing, because we really expanded. At the time, it was all about vaping. But then we said, well, we're going to talk about vaping, and it's not going to be under the Tobacco Cessation Counseling Code. Okay, what about all the other things where, we want to be able to A, track it, B, have that be a procedure. And so we developed a code that incorporates vaping and the risks of other substances, and then methods of, what do we call it, routes of administration, stuff like that. So anyway, I'm not sure. She was very, very laser focused on vaping and the risks of vaping. And we broadened it quite a bit. So I think that she just sort of gave up. She didn't want to take too much time, I think, to dive into that with me. So it didn't go anywhere. But she had a successful House of Delegates at ADA, where they passed some language of a PR, a proposed resolution. So they have a policy about vaping, and I don't know exactly what their policy is, but it's probably something to do with educating people about it, risks, and it should lead into what we're doing here, I think, fairly well. I never did find out exactly what the language was that ADA passed at their House of Delegates. So I tried, but
things can be opaque with associations at times. Okay, I'll leave that one there. Okay, I'm moving forward. Biofilm group. Biofilm group. Who did who was the leader of this one?
I don't remember.
I don't either.
Hi, that was me, Melissa Obratka.
Oh, hi, Melissa. There we go. Because you guys did 3, right? Because both biofilm and the implants, right? Those are both yours.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So this is the first one.
The key on this is that they've heard about disruption of biofilm the last 2 years, and they keep wanting to lump it into 6101 and a bunch of other things. So I think reminding them that they're, under our rationale, there's currently no procedure code for this, and give just a short synopsis of why we think it needs to be there. So
would it
would
it make sense to to bring their attention to because it's gonna come up early, but it really is related to these other submissions that we have later?
We could ask them if they would consider 6, 66, and 67 at the same time.
Yeah. What do you think of that, Melissa?
I think that's a good idea, because then you're bringing we're putting this forward, and this is the reason why. This is the clinical application to it.
Right.
Patty, what I could do is call Stacy at she's one of the staff members on the council, and forewarn them that we're going to ask that they be considered together.
Yeah, sure. It doesn't hurt, right?
Okay. I'll call her and do that.
So then, Melissa, would you guys you'd be ready to speak to these 3 things together, because they are connected.
They are. Absolutely.
Right. In the same way that it's really connected to, where the heck is it? It's connected to what else? I don't know. I thought there was something else. I'm sorry. I'm making you guys dizzy. I'm probably sure.
No.
So questions, discussions, Melissa, Siobhan, Eileen, I think you guys were all in that group, right?
Eileen was not with us, but I definitely consulted with her expertise and numerous times on this topic, especially when it's related to the systemic health impacts of biofilm. I think that what you're saying with bringing it in with the codes that are the clinical application of it is a really smart way to just kind of piggyback the 2 together and put the necessity of all of those codes that are related. Hopefully that will be a light bulb moment for these guys and ladies, that these are necessary things for us to be moving forward in health and medicine and patient care as healthcare providers, rather than our 1110 current coding of a tooth scraper.
The thing is with this, what we're really trying to get across is the idea of what biofilm is and where science is on biofilm at this point, that this group is not exactly a room filled with forward-thinking people. Is that a fair statement, those of you that have been there?
Yeah.
I was really trying to
I think that's an understatement.
That was very PC, Patty.
That was good.
So
You
there
could have
is,
put up a
so I think
picture
what I'm
of
saying
people with their head in the
to you
sand.
is there is a bit of an educational aspect. We don't want to talk down to them. But again, this is the group that's a prophy, okay? That they really don't understand what those of us on this call do about the nature of biofilm and how it's not the same as plaque, and how even using the words plaque biofilm makes it confusing about what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
We throw in dysbiosis and all that kind of stuff. I'm okay with that. So
yeah, so we have an opportunity to really educate them and open their minds, and hopefully they'll have a better understanding so that we can get these. Am I being too
no, you heard what I was saying.
I haven't been there yet.
Nope. Heard what I was saying. But again, you really have to read the room though, because if you start seeing them putting their hackles up, like, who are you to talk to us that way? We got to be real careful, because there's a tricky lines here.
Question, this is Siobhan. So with this code here and the other 2 codes on implants, I think that we just should have an attitude of education you know, and just speak truth about what's going on in current dentistry right now, and let them understand that peri-implantitis is a global concern, and one major factor or cause is biofilm. So I'm wondering if it would help to maybe present the two codes on implants first, and then bring up the biofilm.
Well, if they allow us to bring them together, then I think however you think the order of the discussion makes sense is up to you. But what Kathy
Yeah.
said, she's going to call get a hold of Stacy to see if they'll even put these together. Now, this is not something that doesn't have precedent. It does have precedent. I've seen it happen before.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
So
the thing is, number 24 comes first, and they go in numerical order. So when you go up at 24, that's when you say we would like to ask the chair permission to talk about this at the same time as we talk 66 and 67.
yes.
And then they'll say yes or no. So then it's up to you to decide. But remember, keep your education short, couple 2-minute segments, and then ask if people have questions, because if you drone it out long, they will turn it off. So
right. And remember, you have AAP and AGD, and remember who's there, the Prosthetic Association, the Prosto guys. Those are all prime audience that you can help bring in and just say, and as you know, doctors, as much time as you put into this, la, 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 you know what I mean? It's just, you know, so use that audience. You guys know how to do that. I know you do.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything further? Okay. Okay, Tasha, Profi Group.
And Tash, I'm going to jump in real quick here. Do you think we should ask them to combine this with the number 49, the scaling in the presence of gingival inflammation?
Yep. My opinion. What do you guys think?
Tash, are you there? Is she here?
She was.
Okay. Well, you know, my thought is talk about Profi, and if they start getting off on segment, I don't know, we could talk about them together or not, but what do people think?
I mean, I think to me, one of the reasons to talk about them together is because it always was just one thing in the past, and I think we could speak to specifically, and our group had a high level of concern when we heard the statement at this meeting last year that a profi is a profi, because as a group, again, we've established something, and again, maybe we use some of the argumentation that we had in our own letter to ADA about why we should be voting members, is our point of view is different.
Yeah. See, one of the things on the Profi group too is that last year we submitted like 6 of them, and when you get up to the microphone and say, you know, we realized last year we submitted a number of Profi codes, and based on comments where you wanted things simplified, here is what we've done. You know, so it's acknowledging, you know, they turned them down last year. We took their advice and we have simplified. So I think that shows them that we're listening to their comments. Yes. And, you know, trying to keep things simple, not be disruptive.
Tasha's on her phone and is off mute, but somehow it worked before, but it's not working now.
Okay, I need to do it on my end then? Okay.
Eileen said she had comments too, and she's also on the phone and couldn't chime in.
Okay, so let me, if I can see, I'll do it for okay. So Eileen, I just saw, okay, so Eileen, okay, I'm on mute now. I don't know how to do it individually.
This is Tasha.
Let me try it again on unmute. Sorry, guys. They changed the software. Okay. And I'm trying to unmute. Okay, all I can do is unmute all. So.
Can you guys hear me? It's Tasha.
Now we can. Yes. Tasha. There we go. Awesome.
I was having a moment there. Okay. I heard what you were saying, Kathy, about bringing the simplicity back. I agree with you, and I would put the 43, 46 with these.
Okay.
Tasha, if
I'll
you
let them
want
know.
to, if anybody wants, or I can send it to everybody, this is the letter that I showed you this on our call last time that was written to, oh, come on. Sorry, guys, I got to mute it again. Okay. This is the letter that was written from ADHA that went and we got our voting seat. I think playing this in would be in our best interest if we can use some of our own language out of this. Okay? Because again, this is the one that, again, a prophy is a prophy is a prophy. And part of the argumentation could be, should be based on what they don't get it. I mean, I don't think it's in our best interest to say it that way, but I think we said it well in that letter enough, obviously, well enough for them to visit the idea. Do you see what I'm trying to go for here? Or did I mute you also? Now nobody can talk. You can unmute yourself, except Tasha, apparently.
We can unmute ourselves, Patty.
Yeah, okay, except the ones on the phone calls. So that's Eileen and Tasha can't. So Eileen, let's see what I can do with Eileen. Oh, crud. It's just that it gets so loud when I unmute everybody. Eileen, I know you had a comment, so please.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. The couple things that I wanted to speak to with the biofilm was just if we, updated and just said very generally, it's in the media all the time now. Our patients are asking us all the time now. P. gingivalis is all over the media with Alzheimer's and RA. And P. gingivalis is in biofilm. So that's why we want this to be, a step up.
Okay.
Did anybody hear that?
Yeah, we heard it. We heard it.
Okay, and with the prophy, what I wanted to add was that if you keep saying 1110, we're trying to protect ourselves and our employers because there's malpractice in that. Because failure to diagnose periodontal disease is a big issue. So we're trying to prevent all of our professions.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Tasha, any other comments that you have?
No, I just wanted to see if I could send the testimony to Kathy to review since she won't be able to make it before I get.
Of course. I'm sorry.
Yes, Tasha, that'd be great. Plus, we can talk on the phone too.
Okay. Terrific. I'm going to mute everybody again.
I have a quick question too.
Who is it?
There's going to be also insurance companies there. Is that correct?
Yes.
I missed the question.
There's going to be insurance, like representatives from insurance companies?
The 21 member body includes representatives from Medicaid, Medicare, as well as the National Association of Dental Plans, Blue Cross Blue Shield, and yes, other third-party reimbursement groups.
So I'm just thinking that when we are coding out fixed implant cases that aren't removed during maintenance, and I'm talking about like the full arch restorative cases.
Well, okay, hold 1 second. I'm going to mute again and unmute yourself because I can't hear. Melissa?
Hi.
There we go. Okay. Say
so
again.
when we post these are using codes like 1110, 4910, or 4346 with these full arched fixed implant cases that aren't coming out for maintenance, that's essentially fraudulent. Would that be positive to bring up, or is that not a good approach?
I don't think so. That kind of just, I haven't heard that sort of a discussion at those meetings ever. Now, we could refer to it. Of course, the carriers are always concerned about miscoding. Miscoding is different than using the word fraud.
Okay.
What do you think, Kathy?
Yep, I agree. I'd stay away from that word at this point in time.
Yeah, yeah. And again, once you're there for a while, you'll start to get a feel of it, of what's appropriate and what isn't. Okay. All right. Now the other ones that Kathy brought forward here are they ones that we want to speak to? And if so, who wants to do that? One of them is the carries. This is the carries, the SDF for the arch, per arch. We talked about this quite extensively on our call. Anybody?
Sorry, I'm not going to be there. You know, I'd love to give testimony for this, but
Right, because you were against this, right, Connie?
yeah, I don't like the per arch, but
Okay,
I
explain
guess
why to the group, because you may open up some eyes and again to other people that may be there that can't speak to it.
well, for me, what I hear on a daily basis, the concerns that a lot of providers are getting from their patients when they're trying to educate them about silver diamine therapy. And as we move to, we definitely need a preventive code for it. There's no doubt. I mean, I was using it preventively, but we don't have an accurate procedure code for it. So I just don't agree per arch, because a lot of the problems that providers are getting are these patients are like, so you're going to put that much silver in my mouth, or you're going to put that much fluoride in my mouth. We already know they have an issue. They think that the silver is a heavy metal, like all of the issues we're hearing. They think that the fluoride, and I agree, it is a lot. And actually, most of the time, we're not applying even a full quadrant. So I could see how providers would say, okay, well, if I can apply it full arch, I'm just going to put it on every single tooth in their arch. And I just don't think that that's the accurate way to be applying preventive silver diamine fluoride. Now, I'm sure Dr. Milgram, I'm sure that there's studies that show that, and I haven't looked into that specifically, and probably I should.
I was going to say he's got quite a few articles that he submitted. Dr. Milgram is a professor emeritus up at the University of Washington, has done a lot for preventive dentistry, and I have to admit I haven't read the articles either, but they are included. One of the things I just want to point out is in his rationale, he's talking about not just silver diamine, but silver nitrate and chlorhexidine. He's bundled those three, meaning that the other codes cover varnish, but those three. So it isn't just the SDF he's talking about here. He's talking about other products as well, which don't have a code.
So would this be instead of, so like the chlorhexidine varnish from
right.
Yeah, so that would be under this code also?
That's it. Because
and I think that's an excellent place for it. But
yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Kathy.
This procedure is described below, may be documented. You know, it's the 1206 and 1208 just don't cover SDF, silver nitrate, and chlorhexidine. So I think he was trying to bundle them all. From what I read.
So I'll be anxious to hear how this goes, and then maybe we're going to need, maybe we're going to need to break it down even further for different medicaments within the same code, maybe break it down more, but I'll be anxious to see how it goes.
Yep.
Okay. Anybody else have any other comments, thoughts?
So this is one where if you feel strongly, anybody there to speak to it, I mean, we hygienists are the preventive. I would certainly like to see a hygienist talk to this, you know, even if they don't represent this group, but to give their, you know, insights. Because if we're the preventive specialists, I would think we would need to
That means somebody has to read all those articles that Milgram put in there.
Yeah.
Because we need to understand what it is that he's saying about it. So, okay. All right. We have that out there. Okay. This is the Council on Dental Benefits submitted. Now, we have two of these that we had discussed in detail. And so this is the one by the council. This is the one by this doctor, Dr. Mark Hahn, who we don't know who that is, but do we have people here that want to discuss this? I know Kathy wants us to, because Kathy worked really, really hard on the previous version of it.
Well, I have another reason for wanting to get up and support this. We are asking to put a member on the Council on Dental Benefits. It would be nice to pick one of their codes that we can support. I think from a political point of view, might not be a bad idea to speak in favor of this as written. We might have our little nuances. We would like it differently, but if we could live with it, it might look good.
I thought though we said we couldn't really live with it comfortably.
Yeah. Well,
thoughts, other people?
I mean, I personally don't like it very much, but
I have a feeling we're going to go back to everybody doing gross scale.
Yep.
I just read it out.
They're doing it. They're doing it already.
I know.
So anyway, just my thoughts.
But this codifies it.
Yep.
Okay. All right. We see what we have in front of us.
Play the room.
Okay. Okay. What about these by Perio Protect and Dr. Friedel? This is the one where Alan brought it forward a couple of different ways. Do we have people here that want to speak to it? Patty and I have some personal experience with it lately, so I'm sure we probably can, but okay, what Kathy's trying to show here that I think is important is that we have the right, and maybe I'm going to use a word that's a little strong here, duty to speak to other things that are in our wheelhouse. And these are in our wheelhouse as hygienists.
I was going to nominate Patty Beeson.
There we go.
Thank you, Connie. You're welcome. You're welcome. Anything I can do for you, Patty.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Patty, you talk very articulately in my courses about it these days, so there you go.
Well, I can tell my story, you know.
There you go. There you go. There we go.
How is this being coded now? These carriers have these specific Perio Protect carriers have been in use for a while. How
If you look at it, I think Linda if I go back here, my slides won't go back. Wait. If you look at it under here, this is the way it currently reads underneath all that red. Karen Siebert, you know why this is being done. Do you want to speak to anything here? No?
Oh, yeah.
Go for it.
That is so that there aren't so many knockoffs.
I'd be interested to hear how they present it when it's introduced.
I'm just reading up again.
So this one distinguishes between just an ordinary, kind of like a whitening carrier tray, and this super fancy one. Is that the main idea? I mean,
well,
there
the important
are lots.
part is, again, the laboratory process language was in there before, but it's the FDA cleared medical devices where what they're trying to emphasize here is, because one of the knockoff products that's out there now is laboratory process, but it's not FDA cleared, okay?
And it doesn't have the seal, like, so and they just went ahead and put it out on the market without any kind of clearance.
I wouldn't be surprised to see that company here attend. They would be smart, so it could get interesting.
How well they understand the process of coding might be something Karen could speak to, but she probably doesn't want to. Do I have that right, Karen?
Yeah, Patty, I think you know how well they know the process of coding.
Yes, they kind of have a bit of a cavalier idea of what coding can be, should be, and what they can get away with. So I think we'll just leave it right there. Okay.
They definitely won't be at the meeting.
Yeah, they won't be there.
So I wouldn't worry about that.
Okay.
Also, I didn't know how to get all these in here, but remember we talked about in detail the 3 different ways that Doyle Williams brought forth the idea of what these dispense drugs and medicaments dispensed from the office is all about. And again, to remind those that weren't on the previous call, Doyle Williams is a representative of Aspen Dental, and so he will have Aspen Dental statistics to support his stuff here. So does anybody want to, I mean, again, this is, we talked about this at length on our call. Anybody have any more comments or thoughts, or think you might want to speak to it at the meeting? Okay. Well, again, what Kathy was doing is bringing forward those that we might want to consider. That doesn't mean you're limited to those. Next, study club. Okay, Susan, give us a little example of what you're going to talk about. How's that for putting pressure on somebody?
Well, first we're going to get to talk about the new code that we have.
That's right, exactly. That's the way to say it, Susan. Love it. Because the vote will be on the Thursday the week before she does this on Wednesday. So.
Right, yeah. I think we're going to get it. I'm thinking positive.
I love it.
Yeah, so we're going to look at what else do we need to do in our screening? Because looking and feeling isn't enough.
Okay.
So we're gonna go a step further.
Terrific. Also, next DCC, where we will come back with the full report, is on March 29th. Okay. Sunday, March 29th, we'll have the full report. If there's whatever we pass that's ours, guys, I'll let you all know about it right away. Possibly as it's being passed, I'll text you. Also, at that meeting, we're going to need to begin the process. Again, think about it. Do you want to be a leader? We're going to need to start talking about that and getting ideas of what the direction is going to be, of where we want to go for the next time around. So that's on the 29th. We continue to evolve and change with Patty, Lindsay, and I with evolving our membership and our membership groups. We do have a logo now. This is our new Beyond Oral Health logo. This page will be up and running soon, as well as it won't be dentalcodology.com. It'll be beyondoralhealth.com, but it's not there yet. So don't start Googling that yet because it's not up and running, but it will be. Mastermind replays. The replays of the last two are up, as well as others. This is what they are. One of the things, remember, if you couldn't participate on that, they're still available, and they're still available for free CE to you. Siobhan's was awesome. So was Ellen's, but this is the replays. You can go back in and take those. Also, if for people that we really need to get this group building. We need more voices. We need more participation. We have Connie's SDF CE. Study club. We have as the free sample. So if you want to have somebody to tell them about the group and say, hey, go over there. You can do a great SDF program, and they can get CE for it. Okay, that's all free for people that just want to see what our group is all about. You will be getting the announcement, she says with hope in her voice, of when and how you access these courses online for the 101 and the 201 levels. It's all free as part of your subscription. Also, we're working hard on the Under One Roof events of Leading with Kindness breakfast. That'll be on the Friday morning, as well as our Beat Oral Cancer. This is about some fundraising, and even if you're not attending UOR, you can still participate with us. More details coming on that. And I need your help, guys. I have some holes in my schedule. I'd like to get a few more courses put into my fall schedule for September and October. So if you have any leads or you know any groups that need some information and learning on codes, I have some availability, as well as lots of door prizes and other things that I bring to groups. So wow, we did it again. We're more than an hour. I thank you, all of you, for your time. You're amazing. We're amazing. We're making we're making progress. We're changing the world. We're not sitting back waiting for anybody else to do it. We are doing it. So until next time, you know how to reach me, text me, email me. If you're coming to the CMC, please let me know. I need to know, and we need to know if you're going to be there for dinner so we can make the reservations. I can help you navigate wherever you're at. and we're moving. Everything we do is so much beyond oral health. I thank every single one of you and wish you all a very good night.
Good night, Patty.
Good night. Thanks, Kathy.
Thanks.
Good night, everyone.
Night, everyone.
Thank you, Patty
Good
and Kathy.
night.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Good night.